All right, great. Okay, great. So why don't we get started? So today, these are my promises to you today for our masterclass, is that you're going to get really clear on what the power of your purpose is. These are going to be done through actual studies and personal real life stories. You will lay the groundwork for fiercely standing for your purpose on the planet based on what you already know about yourself. And you will get a framework today on how to know and speak your purpose so you can start living from your purpose now. And you will understand why what makes you different is what dazzles other people and is a part of your purpose already fulfilled, so that you can stop comparing yourself to other people. So I hope all that sounds good to you. And if it does, pop a yes in the chat. Great. Yes, yes, absolutely. Perfect. So also, I'm going to try and visit the chat here and there, but if I miss some things, I'll come back around to it. It's harder for me to see the chat as I'm on screen with all of you. But let's go on. So let me know as well. I'm going to ask you some questions. Let me know if this sounds like you, okay? Do you dream of being able to know what you're meant to do in the world, but you just struggle with where to start? Do you want to feel like you're on the right track without having to go down a ton of different paths, missteps, and roadblocks before you get there? Are you frustrated, just feeling frustrated, like not knowing your purpose at this point when it seems like everyone else knows they're going full force on fulfilling on their dreams or on their mission? And lastly, do you just have a soul calling or like a wanting of a deeper meaning with your higher self or higher expression of yourself? If any of those pieces feel real to you or true for you, then you're definitely in the right place, because we're going to look at all that as we work through our keys today. But before all that, let me introduce myself. I am Michonne Williams, and I am a luxury wine, because that's my business, that's my passion, a lifestyle consultant. And I say that because I'm in the business of really supporting people find their passion, fulfilling their purpose. And I feel when we're doing that, we get to be our most alive. So I am also a certified Campfield methodology trainer, a Fascinate certified advisor, helping people understand how they fascinate others. And I'm a former self-expression and leadership program leader with Landmark Worldwide, helping hundreds of people step into their contribution and in their leadership. And I'm a direct sales leader with an international wine company leading a multi-million-dollar organization. So I wanted to share with you today that I am extremely grateful for what I get to do with my work and with my passion. What am I going to do? I'm so grateful for what I get to do, and that I am really fiercely committed to my purpose, that I get to be, really connected to my passion and my purpose. And it is, wonderful that I get to share myself in this kind of a way. And I feel like so spirit-led and a soul calling to honor my purpose. And today it's like I get to say my purpose and share it often. And I inspire and empower people to be fully self-expressed and have a life of having it all. But I didn't always feel that confident about it. Back when I was 20 years old, I was sitting across the table from a very good friend of mine. We were having lunch in San Francisco, and she told me all of her dreams about being a photographer. She knew exactly where she wanted to go to school. She had this whole vision about the kind of portraits she wanted to take of real life people and the real culture of her people in her homeland of the Philippines. And I hung on every single word. I was enthralled. Okay. And I was also envious. I envied her. Like, how do people figure out what they want to do in the world, in their life like that? Like, I just didn't get it. I just wanted to know, what am I supposed to do so I can go out and get it? I wanted the answers. So I went ahead and I did things like read books. I read books on your purpose. I read books on, what is my passion, fulfill your passion, and money will follow. I read all kinds of stuff like that. And then later in life, I also started to listen to my friends who would remind me of the kinds of things I would always do, like getting small groups together, like coaching with people and supporting people. And so I started to take that in too, as I got a little bit older. So cut to 29 years later. Okay, 29 years later. And there I am. I'm driving in my car in sunny Los Angeles, and I'm listening to an audiobook. And it's the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And Jack Canfield is known as the #1 success coach in America. And he walks me through this process of figuring out my life purpose. And boom, the lights went on. Okay. Just imagine this, right? I'm in my car. It's Los Angeles. It's the afternoon. The sun is already shining, right? But in that moment, everything got brighter. Okay. And I felt like, wow, I get this. This is it. I just want to lean into that. So this is the same format I'm going to share with you a little bit later today. So I'm super excited to do that with you. But because I was able to grasp my purpose in this single sentence format, it made it super easy for me to remember it and to rely on it in those moments where I felt a little like off center. It helped to ground me, helped to bring me back on my path. When I felt like, okay, what's the next step? Or when I felt like, oh gosh, I'm not really sure if I should do that, then I could go back to this purpose and this purpose statement to keep me going forward and remind me of like, what am I here for? And what am I meant to be doing? And then from there, I could always take that next step. And also because of this purpose, I took a really big leap and I invested in becoming a certified Canfield principles trainer. And as I mentioned, he's known as the #1 success coach. But also, if you've seen the movie The Secret, raise your hand. Let me know if you saw the movie The Secret, right? So he was featured in The Secret. He's also the creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. So it was a huge honor for me that he also personally he personally interviewed me at his home a couple of years ago. And in my purpose, I also have achieved the highest level in my wine business at that time. And I also, here I thank you. And also, am here leading this masterclass, which for me is an expression of my purpose. So there is so much possible when you do get clear on your purpose.
Yeah.
So today, what's awesome is that we're also going to get you clear on your purpose and using these 3 keys and 1 key framework to express your life purpose. And let me tell you, the framework, I'm telling you again, this framework is golden. And when we get to that point, you'll want to have like a paper and pen or something you can take some notes so that you can retain the framework and practice with it later. But before we get to the 3 keys in the framework, I want to give you the background on why your life purpose is so important to know, and the studies that are out there that are going to show you, why there is gravity to your purpose and why it has a lot of value. Learning your life purpose is not just about feeling good or destroying doubt. There's so much more to it than that. So we're going to look at that as well. But if you're like me, I like to get the goods. I don't like to wait to the end till we get to that part to learn the juicy bits. So I want the keys and I want the keys now. So I'm going to give you the keys as a list, right? And then we're going to get into them deeper as we go further into the process, okay? So the 3 keys to clarifying your life purpose are, first of all, self-discovery and self-celebration. Number 2 is honoring your distinctive, dazzling difference. And number 3 is being a stand for the difference you want to see on the planet or in your community. Yes, I love the head nods. Yes. Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my screen back on so that I'm going to go ahead and pop the screen back on. Okay, great. All right, wonderful. So our life purpose is awesome when we're talking about, what are the next steps exactly and what we want to do in our life and giving us some direction. But it goes deeper than that, right? It's also about having a physical and emotional well-being as well. So here's one study I want to share with you, which is a study published in the Journal of Psychological Science.
Hello. Hello, my friend. How are you?
If we
Good,
can just
thank you.
mute
Nice to see you
ourselves,
again.
awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, great. So this study found that individuals with the greater sense of life purpose not only lived longer, but also experienced better physical and mental health. The study followed over 6,000 participants for 14 years, and those that had a strong sense of purpose had a lower risk of mortality and were better at maintaining their physical functions and their cognitive health as they aged. So I don't know about you, but I'm planning to live to at least to 100. So who here is also interested in living longer, but with their mental and physical health in greatest shape? If you are, yes, put a me in the chat because that's me. And whoever is said me too, let's hook up. Let's keep in touch because community is also a very important part of that. Here's another study by the Gallup research firm, and they showed that employees who understand how their work aligns with their personal purpose and values are more engaged, productive, and satisfied in their jobs. They are also more likely to stay with their organizations. So I think this is really good to hear as well, because whether you are an employee for a person or if you're a parent and those kids got you working. We're all, engaged in something. So if you are clear on your purpose, whether it's taking care of kiddos, education, if you're engaged in your purpose in having a business and your entrepreneurial purpose, if you're working for a company and you're fulfilling a purpose there, what you'll find is that you are more engaged, more productive, and more satisfied. That's the takeaway here. And this is something that I recently learned about, and I love it. There's a new series on Netflix called The Blue Zones, and it's a docu-series that follows the several areas of the world where there are a high concentration of centenarians. So those people who are living up to and beyond 100 years old. Yes, Angela. Angela's watched it and said she loved it. It's so great. So if you check it out. But they're called the blue zones. And in about 3 of these blue zones, he identified something very specific, and that is life purpose as one of the aspects that has people, again, live more longer lives and more rich lives. And in Japan, it's called ikigai. And ikigai is a Japanese concept that means your reason for being. It's your ikigai is your life purpose, or it's your bliss. And I love the feeling of that. That just feels good, right? Your bliss. So it's what brings you joy and inspires you to get out of the bed in the morning and to take on what it is you need to take on that day. In Costa Rica, the same thing is there. What they call it is plan de vida. So plan de vida is a Costa Rican idea that means your soul's purpose. They believe that we're each born with a unique reason for our existence. And our soul's plan, our soul's purpose is to figure out what is that? What is that purpose? What is that unique plan? And go about fulfilling it. So a strong plan de vida also, it makes you feel needed, it encourages you, and it has you contribute to the higher collective good of the community. So I love those. And I just am sharing that again to say our life purpose is awesome for us. And it goes deeper than just knowing what's next. So let's get into the 3 keys, okay? We're going to start with our first key, which is self-discovery and self-celebration. So this is one of those things that, as we talk more about our life purpose and understand that um, it's a journey, we want to start with our self-discovery, which is reflection, introspection, reflecting on what gives us joy, reflecting on our passions and our interests, and what are the activities that we love, that we do over and over again. So that's part of our purpose. We can find purpose and meaning in the joy and love that we have in what we're doing in the world and in our daily lives. So to tap into this, you might want to consider past experiences or moments when you felt the most fulfilled, when you felt happiest, right? So the other thing too is, when I work with people on this, we do something called the joy review, where we get to really reflect on a whole world, a whole list of what brings us joy, so that we can really take a look at all the things. Because for most of us, or for many of us, we can find a lot of areas that give us joy. So that gives us information. And then when we are aware of those areas, when we're aware of the areas that we have the fulfillment, where we get to light up, when we see that we are at our best, we're acting as our best, we want to celebrate that. Like, note to yourself, maybe you have a little, move you do, and you're like, oh yeah, I am in my best self. I'm in my joy. I'm in my pleasure. Note that, because you want to remember, that is those are those moments that we light up, and you want to be able to return to them. And you also want to kind of just remind yourself, right, of those times that you are at your best, so that you can, one, just feel good in that, and also keep aligning yourself with those times when you are at your best and feeling your greatest. It's kind of like how you know when you're home. So key number 2 is to identify your unique gifts and claim your dazzling difference. So here is where we're moving from our passions and our joy and our fun to what are our strengths and our talents. And these can be your strengths or talents that are both natural and those that may have been acquired over time. Because if you think about your skills, if you've gotten anything that you've been masterful at over time, you probably enjoy it to some degree. So that's something to consider as well. And consider then, how would you use these strengths and these talents to contribute or to improve some aspect of your life or someone else's life? That's another piece of your purpose. One way you can start to, evaluate that or practice it or see how it works out in the world is to do different projects, different volunteer projects, to provide different services for people and see if that's a fit for your purpose or how you see your purpose. And I find that this is also one of the most challenging areas for people, is to identify their strengths and their skills. Sometimes we just, we're so in the rhythm and the routine of what we do that it's hard sometimes for us to see what we truly excel at, naturally or acquired. So one of the things you can do to get to this piece is you can do a search on Google for a strengths finder, a list of strengths, and look on those lists to see if you can identify anything that looks familiar to you or looks like that is a fit for you. The other thing you can do is to ask 3 people in your life who you love to, let them know, ask them, what are my strengths? You can get some feedback from the people in your life because they know you the best, right? So what are my strengths is when you can ask them. You can ask them, what am I good at? And then they can give you some feedback there. You can also ask them, how do I dazzle? Now, we're probably not going to ask that question, right? But it's fun for the title of this masterclass. But another way to ask a question like that at the people in your life, you could say, when do you see me shine? When do you see me light up? That's another way you can kind of ask that kind of question. With my work with people, I use the Fascinate assessment to help my clients understand, how they stand out, how they command attention, how they communicate, and how they differentiate. So that's like that, that piece, like, how do I stand out? How is my difference make me dazzling in the world? How can I own that as I go forward with my purpose, with my projects, with my passions, all that stuff will help you get to that. And our last key is to know the difference you want to see in the world. And I think this is really fun, right? Just this is where you get to really paint a picture of how you want to see the world. You get to imagine what a perfect planet, or a perfect community, and people enjoying that perfect planet and community gets to look like for you. When many of these, as I'm doing research, as I've done research on life purpose, many thought leaders, philosophers, experts in human potential, when they speak of purpose, they are often speaking of being of service, being a contribution to someone, some group, some entity, right? So that's part of fulfilling on our purpose. It's often for ourselves, but also outside of ourselves. I really wanted to share this quote with you. I think it just is really empowering, and I'd love to share it with you now. When you are truly and passionately on purpose, the people, resources, and opportunities you need naturally gravitate toward you. The world benefits too, because when you act in alignment with your true purpose, which may at first glance seem selfish, all of your actions automatically serve others. I mean, maybe put it in the chat for you. How does that land for you? What do you take away from that quote? What does that make you feel? What does that make you feel is possible or think is possible? I know for me, that just feels like good. Like I feel like I'm in the right place when I'm pursuing my passion for myself, but I can also trust and know that as I pursue my passion or my purpose, I am also in service to the greatest good of others. And for me, that is really empowering. And I hope it is for you too. So let's review what we covered so far with the keys. And that is to clarify our life purpose. We want to have self-discovery and self-celebration. We want to know and honor our dazzling difference. So we are always true to ourselves and being ourselves and celebrating that. And our last key is to know and have a vision of the difference we want to see in the world. I see some really great chats going on. So thank you. Keep that going. That space is for you to interact and work through your clarity as well. So getting clear on your purpose is a journey we get to unravel. Our life purpose, we're living a big, great, grand life. And along the journey, we get to unravel the pieces that make us shine and dazzle and deliver what we're intended to deliver here. So I want to get to the next piece of that. I want to share this life purpose format with you. But I want to know, before we get to that, what's been your biggest takeaway so far with the keys or the studies on life purpose? I'm seeing so much good chat in here. The one sentence, yes, yes.
Do you want us to speak or do you want us to chat?
Sure, you can speak.
That quote was every word of that quote was just so powerful and such a reminder. And I was like, Jack Canfield is a cool dude. That's what I was thinking. But it's just so great. And I'm in this space of surrender to all of it inside of many transitions I'm going through right now. And it's just a perfect on-time reminder. So thank you for it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Jolie. Awesome. Wonderful. Well, if you do want to share your takeaways, you can continue to add those in the chat. I'd love to hear from you because I'm going to read the chat in total after our session today as well. So I just love getting your thoughts there. So One of the things I wanted to also share as we move forward in our conversation is I want to share about a woman that I worked with who was about 51 years old, and she's super successful. This is a woman who is a successful entrepreneur. She ran 3 successful businesses, has a lot of close friends. She travels every year to great locations, and I would say she has a great life. I would say she has a great full life, and she's been very successful and reached the highest levels of some of her businesses. And not that she doesn't want to reach more and have more success, but when I spoke to her, she was really distraught that didn't know her purpose. And it wasn't about the higher levels of success or titles. It was about having greater meaning in her life. And because of this, she took on her self development, and her self discovery. And she went and had coaching. She went and did workshops and had one on one sessions. So thankfully and gratefully, she did find her purpose. And I would say that her purpose was to free people from shame and childhood trauma. After that, I'm telling you, she got laser focused on this and how to fulfill it. And from that moment on, things went fast, so fast. And she got the strength to share her purpose and free people from shame and childhood trauma, like in several different communities. She got real and authentic with her family about this. And she's now written a book that's coming out this year. And she has spoken on dozens of stages and podcasts around this topic and around her purpose. Like, that is the power of knowing your purpose. Like, not only do you get to have fulfillment in yourself, but you're touching other people. When you have power in your purpose, you are getting intentional. You're moving with velocity. You have vulnerability. And when you are vulnerable, you are so present to the power that you are and that you have. You have courage, freedom, and joy. So what I've seen is that when people get clear on their purpose, whole worlds open up for them. They create new opportunities, and they also get to see the offers and invitations that are coming into their life as opportunities when they are a fit for their purpose. They get focused, resourceful, and relentless in the steps that they need to take, whatever that is, whether it be on their project in life. And my friend, the one I told you about from 29 years ago over lunch, she went on to attend one of the best photography schools in the country. After that, she produced photography books and did many photo shoots, of course. But then from there, she was an executive producer for the Academy Awards of Photography. It's called the Lucy Awards. She went on and did years of what's called the Month of Photography in Los Angeles, where hundreds of photography exhibits were put up in 1 week or in 1 month in Los Angeles. And lastly, she was co-host for the first and only photography reality TV series that was hosted on Hulu. Again, that is the power of knowing your life purpose and fulfilling on it. So I am so moved to the core when I see people shift into discovering and owning their life purpose. I see the changes that they make. I see the actions that they take, the courageous conversations that they have. I know the difference that it makes and really, getting true to yourself and being able to make decisions that align with who you are, who you're out to become, and what you're out to accomplish that is in line with your purpose. And that is why I'm inviting you to have a complimentary life purpose clarity call with me. And this is really for you. If you know that you are meant for more, but you can't quite put your finger on what that is. Perhaps you're at a crossroads in your life and you're wondering, which direction should I go in right now? Whether it be in personal life, relationships, business, or career. Or you just want to feel more connected to your higher self. You just want to feel more meaning in your life. And listen, I also get it. We get so busy. So much of us have so much on our plate right now. And you might feel like, oh my gosh, doing the work to clarify my life purpose, maybe it just feels like a luxury to you, right? But I want you to consider that when you get clear on your purpose, you actually accelerate your efforts and you actually get to your desired outcomes much faster because you're focused on what really matters and you're so much more in tune with that. You might also feel like, hey, my life purpose is something I should be doing on my own. I should have this handled. I can do this on my own. I can look up stuff online. But let me tell you, all that can be overwhelming to sort through. And, it's also that it can, when are you going to take time as well to sit down with yourself and do some of that self-discovery? That is something that sometimes it works to get support around that, to really get to the core of your calling. Discovering your life purpose is personal work, but it doesn't have to be done on your own, especially when there are proven approaches to get you clear on your life purpose sooner. I do not want you to have to take 29 years or even 2 years to get clear on your life purpose. So that is why I want to offer you the Life Purpose Clarity Call. I'm going to put the link to book that in the chat. And I am booking some of those calls for tomorrow, the 14th, as well as Monday, the 18th. So let's have a life purpose clarity call and see if there are specific next steps for you. Because during this life purpose clarity call, we're going to assess your biggest challenges. We're going to take a look at your specific interests and map out next steps for you. And if we want to take those next steps together, we'll look at that too. And I'm committed, if we do take those steps together, I'm committed that you get clear and confident on what your life purpose is. And I'm going to support you in any decisions that you want to make that is in alignment with your life purpose. And I'm going to get you clear on your dazzling difference so you can quit the comparisons to other people and other situations and even compare yourself to yourself, like I should be here or I should be there, right? So if you want, head over to my scheduling link right now and grab a spot. I'm opening up about 10 spots between tomorrow and Monday. So go ahead and do that. And I really do look forward. I hope you take advantage of it because I look forward to having a one-on-one call with you and getting to know you a little bit further and seeing how we can support you in your next steps. Okay, sound good? Give me a thumbs up if that sounds good to you. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, so get your pen and your paper handy because this is when we are going to do some work around your life purpose statement. This is the exact exercise I did while I was in my car. I did it in my head at the time. But this is the exact exercise I did when I was listening to the audiobook in my car. That made a very big difference for me. So the one things I want to say about this is that this is a process, as I said earlier, and we're having a very short time together. You may not get through all of this right now, today, in this moment, and that's okay. What I want you to have is all of the pieces so that you can have this to work from, whether it's completed now or after our session, and that you can reflect on this as you're able to spend more time on it. But for now, I want to work on it with you because I do think it's super powerful, and I hope that it gets you closer to your life purpose and a tool that you can use moving forward. So the first step in creating this purpose statement is to choose 2 unique personal qualities that you most enjoy expressing. I'm going to give you some examples here. So unique personal qualities could be persistence, generosity, kindness, resourcefulness, maybe creativity, leadership, strategy or strategic, nurturing, humor, entertaining, educating. These might be some of your personal qualities. And again, you might have some other words that fit here, but whatever those are for you, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to work on this, and then we'll go on to the next piece. Okay, about 1 more minute on your unique personal qualities. Some of mine were being, maybe it's being enthusiastic, being optimistic. Oh, thank you for sharing, Angela. Yeah, you can certainly share what you came up with yourself in the chat. Love, love, love hearing that. Okay, great. And again, if you are not done, or you feel like I'm not really sure, that's totally okay. Whatever you have right now, maybe jot it down so you have something to work with, or it's a direction to go in after we're done with the workshop. And you can look up synonyms for those words. You can go further. You can look up other lists for personal qualities to give you some more ideas as we work on this more. Okay, now the next piece is to list 2 ways that you enjoy expressing those particular qualities when you are interacting with others. So some examples here might be inspiring, writing, dancing, supporting, empowering, speaking, organizing, managing, traveling, healing, caring, team building, influencing, inspiring, coaching. So those are just some examples to help you start to think about what are the ways that you enjoy expressing your unique personal qualities when you're interacting with others. And I'll give you another 2 minutes here. Right, I see some sharing in the chat as well. It's great. I love hearing this. Rena's, I love when I'm able to be creative, thoughtful, and mentorship. Yes, in mentorship mode, organizing, teaching, inspiring, empowering, mentoring. Angela says writing, empowering, healing, coaching, and traveling. I love all of this. Right. Okay. So our last piece is to assume the world is perfect right now. What would it look like? So what would a perfect world look like to you? What are people doing? What do you see on their faces? How are they being with one another? How are they representing themselves? How do they act? What's going on with the planet? What does the planet look like to you? What do cities look like to you? What does the state of work and working look like to you? You know, just imagine in your mind, in your world, in your life, like what would a perfect place, a perfect world look like and feel like? And just remember, a perfect world is a fun place and it's a feel-good place. So you want to come from that place and create it from there. And you can jot down a sentence for that, or a phrase, something that speaks to your perfect image of a perfect world on your notes. Yes. I love this. Y'all are putting some really beautiful things in the chat. People are happy, healthy, thriving, fulfilled. In a perfect world, people are in healthy relationships and women are living into their full potential. Yes. People are feeling connected and good in their own bodies. I'm feeling good right now. People are smiling, engaging. The circle of life is at its best with givers and receivers. Yes. Oh my God. People are demonstrating sharing and caring. And there's no competition because everyone is flowing in their God-given gifting. Beautiful. I have goosebumps. Thank you. Happy humans. Yes. Oh, healed, happy humans. Yes. Peaceful and connected. So beautiful. Oh, this is making my day. Love it. I love all these too. Yes. Right. Whatever your perfect world is for you is perfect. It's perfect, right? It's perfect. So what the next step is to combine these three parts into a single sentence that we state in the present tense. Okay. So it might be some maneuvering with your words and phrases, but we're going to combine these three elements into a single sentence. And remember, I know many of you put several things, but concentrate on two, maybe three of your unique personal qualities and the two ways that you enjoy expressing them. Put those together with your perfect vision of the world. So I put this together roughly again, because some of the purpose statements look like that or sound like that. But again, this is just a starting place. Your life purpose statement does not have to fit this structure exactly, but I'm putting this here as a way to just break it down, the steps, right? So my purpose is to use my gifts of X and Y to do this and that, so that whatever your perfect world is, or as this perfect world is being created. So that's roughly, right? And I'm going to just give you an example as you are putting your life purpose statement together. So here's just one example. My purpose is to use kindness and humor to uplift and heal others as we live in a world where everyone respects and honors each other. Maybe this is a comedian. Maybe this is someone who writes books. Maybe this is someone who just infuses humor every time they have a conversation when someone starts to go down a negative, turn, who knows? But this is one way that you can express your life purpose. This could be one person's life purpose. Here's another one. My purpose is to use my gifts of negotiation and influence to create policies that protect wildlife around the world so animals can be safe and flourish. And you can kind of hear there, this might be an activist, someone who's dealing with animal welfare, but also maybe on the nonprofit side or a legal side, something like that. And the life purpose statement that I created for myself way back when, those first passes of creating my life purpose statement, I came up with, I use my gifts of exploration, like I love learning and exploring new ideas and things. So I use my gifts of exploration and optimism to inspire and empower people to be fully self-expressed and to have a life of having it all in a way that serves the greatest good of people and planet. And since then, I have even made it more succinct so I can get to it even faster whenever I'm sharing it, maybe in conversation or when I'm doing a workshop. I can share it very succinctly for myself. And that is, my purpose is to inspire and empower people to be fully self-expressed and to have a life of having it all. Like that at my core, at my root, is what I'm here for. So I would love to hear from some of you if you would love to share your life purpose statement. If you have something, I know it's a lot in this very, very short moment. However, if you feel moved, if you feel like, with what I have right now, I want to share, then I'm going to come off this and see if we can take a few shares if you're comfortable and feel like you're at a place where you'd like to. I'm going to go ahead and read Angela's just because I know she's at work and she's not able to speak, but I love it. She says, my purpose is to use my gifts of intuition, empowerment, and leadership to help women achieve and fulfill their dreams of launching their purposeful business so they thrive in the world and feel happy and whole. Wow. Love it. Love it, Angela. Thank you. Yes, get some fingers there for Angela. Does anyone else want to come off mute and speak their purpose? I'm going to call you out, Linda, because I see you've shared. Are you in a place to come off mute? Oops, sorry, that was my fault. There you go.
There we go. Yes. Hello, everybody. I give people freedom and empowerment from their issues and their pain so they can live a life they love living.
Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Linda. And I know I witnessed Linda's power, and yes, she does that. I attended her session on confidence, and she's really beautiful with that. Anyone else want to come off mute and share? Oh, I see Jill. Jill's hand is up. Please come off mute and share with us, Jill. Thank you.
Hello, love. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate you doing this. It's been really awesome. So my life's purpose is to vulnerably share my story around childhood sexual trauma to collapse time for others and help them know they get to love themselves, forgive themselves, and live a life of their dreams.
Oh, you. And just bing, bing, bing. This is my story. Jill is the story I was sharing earlier. So she's the one who has the book coming out later. So I'm really, really excited and proud of you, Jill. You've done a lot of work and have shared so boldly and in your purpose. And honestly, you've moved mountains and moved them swiftly. So thank you.
Well, you've been a big part of that, Michonne. You know, helped me get clear on my purpose. So I love you very much.
Thank you. Jolie.
Congrats, Jill. I don't know if you were on yet when she was sharing about you, but that's awesome. Mine is a little messy. I'm still working it out, but I will get clear on my call with Michonne on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. My purpose is to use my gifts of nurturing, coaching, and guidance, something like that, to support and empower those I feel good about, parents and nannies, so that children are taken care of physically, emotionally, and spiritually, so that they become healthy, happy humans, adult humans, or something like that.
Love it.
My commitment is that children have a chance to actually become healthy humans.
Perfect. I heard that. I heard that in
Thank
your,
you.
you shared. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. And if we have one more, and if not, we'll move on. But if we have one more, because I see Rena. I know Rena, you're off camera. Oh, yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, well, thank you. My overarching, are you getting the feedback?
I can hear you well.
Okay. My overarching purpose is to find creative ways to teach, inspire, and empower people to embrace who they are and their God-given purpose, and to be fully present in every aspect of their lives.
I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Powerful. Yes. Thank you. Teach, inspire, and empower people to embrace who they are and the God-given purpose. Thank you for being
Thank
here,
you.
for sharing. And did we say Rena or Rena?
Rena.
Rena. Okay, thank you, Rena.
Yes.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing. If you do still want to share, you can do that in the chat. You're welcome to do that and invited to do that. It's really beautiful to hear all of our shares and how we see the perfect world. So I want to end on this last quote. There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive, most truly alive. So I want that for you. I hope that for you, that you are in your aliveness, allowing your aliveness and causing more aliveness in your life. And one way to access that is with a clear life purpose. So thank you all again for sharing this time with me. It has been a joy and a pleasure. The link is still in the chat if you like for your life purpose clarity call. I look forward to speaking with those of you who are booking a call with me. And again, I want to just say thank you so much for being here. I'll stop share real quick. We do have a couple more minutes. If there are any questions that anyone has, but I am just in love with you beautiful beings who are here and who are so willing to share and participate and just your presence. So, and if there are any questions, I'll take them. Thank you. All the chat is awesome.